Hi guys, so this will be of our first session of Python, which is introduction to Python. So here we are going to see what we are going to cover in this, what is mean by programming language, types of programming language, then what is Python, Python programming में हमारे कौन से data आते हैं, like we are going to I'm going to tell you about variables, then data type, types of printing statement in that. Okay, so what is mean by programming language? So a computer can only understand binary language. Binary language is the language of zeros and ones. Like binary means we have two digits actually, which is zeros and ones. So after that, to teach a computer, we neither use a speaking language nor binary language. Instead, we use a programming language. Like we have C, C++, Java. After that, Python is developed. A programming language is like the common language between users and the computer. That is very common language. So here next, here we have types of programming language. So first here we are going to learn about low level language, which is also called as machine level language. Okay, so these languages offer minimal abstraction from hardware such as machine code and assembly language. So machine language is easier for the computer to understand but harder for the programmer to understand. So that will be your low level language, जहाँ पे machine language is easier for the computer के लिए हमारा वो understandability maximum है, but for person or for any programmer it is hard to understand. So this is called as low level language. Next we have assembly, that is also called as middle level language. So actually C++, which is a combination of high level plus low level language, so that is called as middle level language. Okay, so here it is slightly easier to understand. The bits of machine language are replaced by numbers and English commands. Before assembly codes is run by the computer, it is assembled by an assembler. Simple, you can say middle level language is mix up of low level plus high level, like your C++ में थोड़ा सा oops का concept add किया गया है. In C, if you see, there is more procedures. Again, you have to give semicolon, curly bracket is compulsory, so you have to follow a lot of rules. और वहाँ पे वो थोड़ी सी understandability हमारे लिए वो थोड़े से complicated होती है. But in middle level, that is easier for understanding for a programmer. Okay, so that will be your middle level language. Next यहाँ पे we have high level language. High level language is more readable than assembly. The language close to human understandability are called high level language, and Python is one of the high level ones. Okay, so here we are going to see what is mean by Python, how to use Python. So here we have given some introduction, like Python is an interpreted language. Now what is mean by interpreted? Interpreted means code can be run line by line. Okay, means if you are writing one line of code, you can execute that one line of code. If we are talking about other programming language like C, C++, and Java, so that is if you want to write one hello world program, then you have to follow 4 to 5 lines of code. Okay, so that's why Python is easy and simple to learn. Next, interpreted language means here already we have given programming language where the source code is translated into machine code, or you can say like machine understandable code, and executed line by line. Line by line it is executing. Dynamic language, a programming language that allows the change in behavior, structure, and type while running. Okay, so that will be dynamic, means our program is getting run and you are changing the behavior and structure of the program. That will be dynamic language. Okay, so that is actually developed by a Dutch programmer called Guido van Rossum. Now why Python is called as Python? So that is actually Python does not have any relation to snake. The name of the Python programming language was inspired by a British comedy group Monty Python. So that's why the language name is Python. Okay, so who created that? So that is created by a Dutch programmer, Guido van Rossum. Sometime um, this is asked in MCQ type of question. So please remember that. Next, here we are going to learn about Python identifier or Python variable. Okay, so Python identifier, we have to start with Python identifier. Means if you want to start a coding in Python, so first you have to understand what is mean by identifier, what is mean by variable. Identifier is also called as variable. Identifier means something you are identified by, like person is identified by their name, right? So that's why identifier is like a variable. So here you can see Python identifier refers to a name used to identify a variable. Okay, again you are going to create, in future you are going to create a function, module, class. Okay, so you have to follow these rules while creating a variable or while creating an identifier. A variable name must start with either an English letter or underscore. You can't start with numbers. Okay, you can use that number in between of the variable name, but you can't start variable name with a number. So here you can see the second rule is a variable name cannot start with number. Special characters are not allowed. Okay, so special characters are not allowed in the variable name. Special character is like your hash, at the rate. So these are the symbol which you can't use inside your variable name. The variable's name is case sensitive. What is mean by case sensitive? Means suppose you are writing that in capital, like name you are writing in capitals and again you are writing in small. So capital N is different than small n. So here the variable name is case sensitive. मतलब आप यहाँ पे कैपिटल जो लेटर में लिखते हैं वो स्मॉल में कन्वर्ट नहीं कर सकते, और जो स्मॉल में है वो स्मॉल में ही रहेगा. Simple you can say. Now here next we have given variable. A variable that is also called as identifier, so don't confuse in between of them. Variable or identifier is same. Identifier means you are identifying that value by that name, or variable you are giving, variable is like a name, you are giving a name. That name is creating a memory location जहाँ पे आप क्या करेंगे, you are going to store your values. So a variable can contain variety of values. Now here you have given some variable name like a equal to 10. So a is your variable name and then 10 will be your value. Okay, so b will be your variable name and 22 will be your value. Name will be your variable name. Aditi will be your value. Like this Aditi name is getting stored inside this name variable. Okay, so again here we have given here like case sensitive. So variable name is case sensitive. Alphanumeric means you can use alphabet as well as number. Here you can see this PH2, alphabet plus number. So variable name you can create with the mix up of alphabet as well as numerical. Here we have given unique, name should be unique. Whichever variable name you are giving, that should be unique. Case sensitive meaning small a. Here you can see small a is different than capital A. If you are writing small name is different than capital name, and PH2, this PH2 is different than this capital PH2. So just remember this. We are going to see that in practical. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to see this in practical, how to create variable name. Okay, now we have to work with this. So let's go on Jupyter Notebook. So directly here you can search for your Jupyter Notebook and here you can click on this or double click. So this will be open inside your browser. Okay, so that is open. Okay, so here you can go inside this DA course. So now we are going to start this session number 2 because this is your first session of Python. Okay, so now first we are going to create here heading. So today we are going to learn about a variable. So here I am going to create a heading. So here I am giving variable name, control forward slash for giving comments. Okay, now you can convert this into a markdown and after that you can execute this. Shift enter is your shortcut key for your execution. Now what is mean by variable? So already here again I am writing that definition. It is a name. Okay, it is a name that points to a memory location. It is a name that points to a memory location. Okay, so this will be the definition. So just remember this. And again यहाँ पे पहला रूल हमारा कौन था? First you have to start with alphabet and numbers on alphabet and underscore only. So here you can start your variable name with underscore, like underscore ab, and here you are giving some, here I am storing 34. Okay, you can execute this again, a underscore b. You can use numbers, you can use underscore in between of the variable name, but you can't start with numbers, so that is wrong. If you are executing this, so you will get errors like syntax error, because variable name should not start with numbers. Next, यहाँ पे you can't use special characters as well. You can use special characters in between of the variable name, but not, okay, you can't use that in between. Okay, so special character we can't use inside a variable name at all. Okay, so after that यहाँ पे suppose you are giving this name equal to, here we can write, here I am writing Shivani. Okay, execute this again. Here I am writing this name name. Okay, again here I am writing Sakshi. Okay, so here we have two names. So suppose I'm printing this name, so both name are different. You are writing here, so both name will be different. Here you can see Shivani and Sakshi. So here you can suppose, here you are writing a equal to 10. ठीक है, again you are writing here a equal to 20. So now that will not be different, both these a is same. अब यहाँ पे पहले हमने a में क्या स्टोर किए थे 10, नाउ आई एम स्टोरिंग दिस 20. सो इसका मीनिंग क्या हो गया कि यहाँ पे वो 10 को रिप्लेस करके फिर 20 स्टोर होगा, मतलब उसी a जो है ना आपका, उसी a के मेमोरी के अंदर वो जाके 10 को रिप्लेस करके या फिर 10 को डिलीट करके 20 स्टोर होने वाला. इफ हियर आई एम ट्राइंग टू प्रिंट दिस a, so what it will print? The value 20. यहाँ पे वो 10 print नहीं करेगा. New calculation, new value will get stored, previous value will not be counted here. So please remember this. Okay, so next here I am going to this. Now next here we are going to start with data types in Python. Now what is mean by data types? So the types of data we are going to store in a variable, that is called as data type. हम कौन से टाइप का डेटा स्टोर कर रहे हैं? वी आर ट्राइंग टू स्टोर अ नंबर, वी आर ट्राइंग टू स्टोर अ इंटीजर, or we are trying to store a string type of data. So here we have given this age equal to 28. Since age is your variable name, okay, so here age is variable name and this 28 is your वैल्यू, राइट. बट ये कौन से टाइप की वैल्यू है ये आपको बताना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, सो हियर वी हैव इंटीजर, नंबर्स विदाउट डेसिमल. तो पहला डेटा टाइप पाइथन में आता है इंटीजर टाइप ऑफ डेटा. नेक्स्ट हियर वी हैव 8. ठीक है, वेट 65.5. हियर वी हैव गिवन float type of data which is number with decimal. नेक्स्ट हियर ईमेल. यहाँ पे ईमेल आपका यहाँ पे सिंगल कोट्स में स्टोर हुआ है. इन पाइथन सिंगल एंड डबल कोट्स बोथ आर सेम, दैट इज रिप्रेजेंट स्ट्रिंग टाइप ऑफ डेटा, जहाँ पे अल्फाबेट्स, नंबर, स्पेशल कैरेक्टर, यू कैन यूज ऑल द डेटा हियर. लास्ट आ जाएगा यहाँ पे मैरिड इक्वल टू ट्रू. हियर वी हैव गिवन दिस मैरिड ट्रू, दैट मीन्स ट्रू और जो फॉल्स वैल्यू होते हैं दैट इज कॉल्ड एज बूलियन टाइप ऑफ डेटा. ओके, सो जहाँ पे डेटा टाइप आपका, जहाँ पे डेटा आपका ट्रू या फिर फॉल्स में आ रहा है, दैट विल बी योर बूलियन टाइप ऑफ डेटा. सो हियर यू कैन सी वी हैव आइदर ट्रू और फॉल्स, दैट विल बी योर boolean type of data. Operation on different variables. So here we have given a equal to 20. So here we can perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, log and exponentials as well. Again here we have given b equal to etli, which is given in double quotes. So that will be a string type of data. So here now the first question which comes to our mind is, can I perform above operation on variable b? क्या मैं b पे एडिशन, सब्ट्रैक्शन, मल्टीप्लिकेशन, डिवीजन परफॉर्म कर सकते हैं? यस, वी कैन परफॉर्म. ओके, सो यहाँ पे दोनों का आंसर क्या आएगा? सो अपर केस, लोअर केस, ऐड स्पेसेस इन बिटवीन कैस. ओके, so let's see that in practical actually. Okay, so let's perform that integer here. Suppose here we have given a equal to 10. So if here I am giving 2 into a plus 10, so what will be the answer for this? So here 2 into a means 10 to the 20 plus 10, 30 should be the answer. But here if I trying to store here some string type of data like ETL height. So यहाँ पे क्या होगा ETL height, if I am performing that like 2 into b plus 10, so this will be wrong because यहाँ पे हम integer और string data type का addition नहीं कर सकते. So here you will get errors like type errors you are getting. But if you are removing this 10, so here 2 into b means uh, ETL height will be printed two times. Okay, so you can perform multiplication, but यहाँ पे addition कर पाना possible नहीं है because integer और string का addition नहीं होता है. But if you are trying to if you are trying to take one more string here, institute, okay, that's it. So यहाँ पे now here you can perform d equal to b plus c. So b here we have ETL have and c is your institute. So now that will be means you can perform addition on string versus string, again integer versus integer, but it is not possible to perform addition of integer versus string type of data. Okay, so let's go to the next part. Here next part we will have print function. So next part here we are going to perform print function. How many types of print functions we have in Python? So सबसे पहले यहाँ पे हमारे आते हैं कुछ separators like objects, then separator, and objects like you are using string, list, tuple, but before printing all object get converted into a string. ओके, सो दैट विल बी योर पाइथन ऑब्जेक्ट्स. हम पाइथन ऑब्जेक्ट्स के बारे में बाद में पढ़ने वाले हैं लाइक योर स्ट्रिंग, लिस्ट, टपल, एवरीथिंग. सेपरेटर, सेपरेटर सपोज you are trying to print anything, so in between you are giving some spaces, you are giving plus sign, you are giving underscore, so that will be your separator. And suppose you want to print data in next line, so you have to use this end of line like backslash n. Backslash n is used for printing data in the next line. Okay, again here we have print statement basics. सबसे पहले आ जाएगा need of print statement. So okay, here we have given actually print statement. Backslash n is used for printing the data in new line. Backslash t is used for printing the data in new tab. अब जैसे हमारे Google में we have plus sign, and using that plus sign we can open a new tab. So that new tab is different than this. Okay, so यहाँ पे new tab का meaning होता है स्पेस आ जाती है आपकी. लाइक इफ यू आर ट्राइंग टू राइट एनीथिंग ऑन अ बुक और कॉपी, सो आप वहाँ पे स्टार्टिंग में कुछ स्पेस स्किप करते हैं, राइट. इफ यू आर राइटिंग एनी ईमेल तो आप वहाँ पे कुछ स्पेस स्किप करते हैं. सो दैट विल बी योर न्यू टैब एक्चुअली. ओके, सो यहाँ पे देखो वेरिएबल सब्सटीट्यूशन इन प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट. सबसे पहले तो वी हैव 4 टाइप्स ऑफ प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट, यूजिंग कॉमा, यूजिंग एफ स्ट्रिंग, यूजिंग डॉट फॉर्मेट और यूजिंग मॉड्यूलो ऑपरेटर. We are going to see that one by one, or how to substitute a variable inside this print statement. We have to see that as well. Okay, so let's see that in practical how to use this one by one. Okay, sorry. Okay, so first here we are going to see about f string, then we are going to see using dot format. So let's go to the practical. Okay, so here we have to see different types of print statement. So first here we are going to see print statement using comma. Okay, print statement using comma यहाँ पे आ जाएगा. सबसे पहले we have to take some variable name, like here I am taking a name as Prashant. उसके बाद here we have given age equal to 21. After that here I am taking marks equal to 90.78. Again here I am taking one more values which is married. So married here I am giving as false. Okay, so you can store that value inside this string. Now we have to use comma separated print statement. So here I am printing the value. So how to print that? So double quotes, the variable or the value which we are writing inside double quotes, so that will be printed as it is. And if you are writing your variable name outside of the double quotes, so that will be printed the value. So यहाँ पे अगर आप लिखते हैं like my name is ओके। सो यहाँ पे मैंने माय नेम इज किसके अंदर लिखा है, डबल कोट्स के अंदर, तो ये जो डबल कोट्स के अंदर डेटा है वो एज इट इज प्रिंट होगा। बट इफ यू वांट टू प्रिंट दिस प्रशांत नेम, अगर आपको नेम प्रशांत प्रिंट करना है, सो यू हैव टू राइट दैट आउटसाइड ऑफ योर double quotes. Okay, so here I am writing this name, again you have to give comma, double quotes, here I am giving, and my age is, so again this value will be printed as it is, again after outside of this here you have to give comma, age. So यहाँ पे जो हमारा ये name है, name is your variable name, so that will print your values. Okay, so after that again here I am giving comma, double quotes, and I got, here I am writing marks 50%. Now I want to print percent in 10th, percent in 10th. Okay, so if I'm executing this, okay, so what I'm getting, my name is the value which I have written inside a double quote, that is printing as it is, and which I have written outside of the double quotes, वहां पे उसका क्या आ रहा है, उसकी values आ रही है, because that is your variable name. तो अगर आपको comma separated print statement में you want to print the value of your variable name, so यहाँ पे आपको उसे double quotes के बाहर लिखना है. Okay, so this will be a print statement using comma separated value. Okay, next यहाँ पे आ जाएगा print statement using f string. Okay, so let's see print statement using f string. Now how to perform this actually, so let's see. Okay, here I am going to use same variable name, and let's see how to print that statement. Here how to use a f string, so first here you have to give print, again f, and now double quotes, everything you have to write inside this double quote. Suppose I'm writing here hello my name is, now I want to print the value of variable name. ठीक है, ये मेरा name क्या है, variable है, I want to print the value this प्रशांत. So यहाँ पे आपको क्या देना पड़ेगा, here you have to give curly bracket. So the variable in f string, if you want to print the variable name, so you have to write that inside a curly bracket. So here I am writing that name. Okay, okay, here you have to give dollar as well, dollar curly bracket. Okay, you don't have to give here dollar actually, uh, you have to write, you have to give only curly bracket. Again here I will try to print, and my age is, again you have to give curly bracket. Now you have to print your variable name which is age, and I got this much percent in 10th. Okay, so I got percent I want to print, so here marks, here we can set percent in 10th. So here you don't have to give comma every time, so as compared to comma separated print statement, f string is better. So that's depend on you, on which print statement you are comfortable with, so you can use that. Okay, just execute this, and here you can see I'm getting the same output as before, only method is different. Here we are using comma separated print statement, and here we are using f string print statement. Okay, so next here we have dot format. Okay, print statement using dot format. Okay, how to use this dot format, this is also same. Okay, this I'm writing this variable name. Now how to use dot format, अब यहाँ पे सारी values आपको, but here you have to follow sequencing. ओके, सिक्वेंसिंग मीन्स पोजीशन यहाँ पे डिसाइड होती है, लाइक ये आपका फर्स्ट पोजीशन है तो फर्स्ट ही लिखना पड़ेगा, ये आपके सेकंड पोजीशन पे यू वांट टू प्रिंट तो सेकंड नंबर पे ही आएगा. यू कांट एक्सचेंज द वैल्यूज, और यू कांट एक्सचेंज द वेरिएबल नेम. ओके, सो हियर first you have to give double quotes, again here hey I am, now I want to print the name. Okay, and I am, again I want to print the age, and यहाँ पे year old. Okay, and my percent in 10th is, and here again I'm giving this curly bracket. Now how it will print the variable name, how it will print the data, again if I'm executing I'm getting the output same. So वहाँ पे because we have double quotes the data will be printed as it is, जो भी हमारा डबल कोट्स में होता है ना. हाउ टू अप्लाई डॉट फॉर्मेट. सो इफ यू वांट टू अप्लाई डॉट फॉर्मेट, सो यहाँ पे आपको आना है आउटसाइड ऑफ डबल कोट्स जस्ट गिव योर डॉट फॉर्मेट. ओके. सो इफ यू वांट टू प्रिंट योर नेम, तो आपको यहाँ पे पहला वेरिएबल यू हैव टू राइट योर नेम, कॉमा. सेकंड you want to print the age, so here you have to write age. Third, you want to print the marks, so यहाँ पे आपको क्या लिखना है, marks. Now execute this. Now I am getting the proper output. Okay, I'm Prashant, I'm 21-year-old and my percent is 10 in 10th is 90.78 something. Okay. Now last we have print statement here. Print statement using modulo operator. Okay. If you have learned about C and C++, so you will get idea about that percentage. This percent is called as modulo operator actually. We will learn about that in later part. For now, you have to just remember that percent you can call that as modulo operator as well. Okay. How to use this modulo operator? So first here you have to understand the data. So if you want to print integer type of data here, so for that you have to use %d. Okay. If you want to print a string type of data, so here you have to use %s. And if you want to print float type of data, float means your decimal type of data, so here you have to use %f. Okay, so just remember this. These are the three data types which you are going to use. In future also you can use, maybe question asked in interview or MCQ type of question as well. So how to print the data? So again we have this variable name. Here I am going to use this print. First you have to give double quotes. Hello. Here I am writing now I want to print the name. So name is your string type of data. So here you have to write %s. Okay. And my age is your number which is integer type of data. For integer we have %d symbol. So here you have to use %d, comma, sorry, you don't have to give comma, and my percent in 10th is how much percent? 90.78. 90.78 is your float type of data. So here you have to write %f. But since you are writing that in double quotes, data will be printed as it is. So now what we have to do? Just click outside of this double quotes. Here you have to write modulo and just give parenthesis. Here also sequencing will be matter. Okay, you have to follow the sequence. You want to print the name first, so here you have to write the name. Second, you want to print the age, here you have to write age. And third, you want to print the marks, so here you can write marks. Now execute this. Here I am getting this data. Now here you can see I'm getting 7 8 and then after that 4 digits more, like 40. So you can round off this. Here we have option for this as well. Percent point f. Point f का meaning क्या होता है? After point you will get only 1 digits. Okay, you will not get any digits, sorry. If you are giving here 1, then you will get 1 digits after point. If you are writing here 2, that means you will get 2 digits after point. Okay, so this will be your decimal limit. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you. Okay, so here we have covered this topic for now. Okay, we are going to see next session tomorrow. And again, if you want to see next video, you will get soon. Thank you for